What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And Happy New Year. It's 2026, and this race was back in 2025. This was back in August. This is the Dalton Grand Prix. This is the road race. This is about the only road race that I do around the area. Has a pretty good profile. It's rolling hills. It's not, any huge climbs or anything like that. It's fast, and it's right around the corner from me, not too far, maybe about a couple hours away, so really easy to get to. Right now I'm talking to Grant, that's my teammate over there on the left, and he actually went on a slight breakaway earlier on in the race. We're on lap 3. Just to conserve a little bit of battery, I didn't turn the camera on until a little bit later, so yeah, starting with lap 3. And if you've seen my videos in the past, so I've done this race a couple years before this. This is, a race that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with the loop. The loop is about 9 miles or so, a little bit more than nine miles. But in years past, I've been in the Cat 3 race, and we do less laps. So this is the first time I'm doing an extra lap. This is a Cat 2. Up to pro race out here. So this is, a P123 race. I'm sorry, a P12 race. But yeah, 19 miles in, we're making good time here. I'm doing pretty well. I feel pretty good. Grant here to my left, like I said, had went on a little bit of a breakaway, but he said he couldn't get anybody to really cooperate early on. So it seemed like, some of the other teams were not, wanting to help out, or they were trying to get another guy out there out front, or, waiting for something later on. Here is about the only climb in the race. Very short, very punchy. You have to put in a little bit of effort here, but I guess in my times that I've done this race, nobody's really actually tried to push it on this hill. I guess because it's basically right after the start finish straight. So that's what we went through as I started the video as well. So anyway, got the 360 camera on here, so I know I've got, right now it is on the front view. There'll be a few other times where I kind of maneuver around a little bit and kind of look. But I think right now I'm kind of sitting towards the middle of the pack, just chilling, buying my time. Like I said, lap 3, we are not doing too much. Although there is about 3 riders out at the moment out front. I believe it's 3. That have about a minute or so on the rest of the Peloton, and the team that are out there, have some guys on the front that are controlling the pace a little bit as well. So obviously, playing the team game and doing their thing out here. Since it's just me and Grant, it was actually supposed to be, I think, at least 3 of us, if not one more extra, but it was supposed to be at least 3 of us, but it ended up just being 2 of us. So we're kind of chilling at the moment and sitting back. And then I can't remember if it was if it was near this point or if it already happened, but there was a point where Grant loses his water bottle. So he didn't have that for the race, and which sucks because we didn't have anybody helping out as far as handing out bottles or anything like that. You had to bring at least a couple bottles with you and make sure they were completely filled up. I believe this is like a 60, maybe just under that something mile race. I can't remember exactly how many miles it was, but so 7 laps of 9 sounds about right. Yeah, so about 63, 64 miles or something like that. So I know there was it's 9 and some change. So there's, a little bit extra on top of it. But yeah, there's Logan just in front of me with the Mustangs. He is in there with Matt Bratcher, and I think it may be just the 2 of them in this race. I can't remember if there was another guy in there. So I think they're rolling kind of 2 deep like we are. But yeah, so 3 guys out front, and we're back here chilling, not thinking they're gonna get away this early in the race or stay away. But the teams out front are doing I think a pretty good job of controlling things and making sure nothing gets too chaotic at the moment here. And I'm over here, we're chilling, we're talking, we're having a good conversation back here. I mean, this is a chill pace right here. I mean, we're rolling. I mean, it says we're doing 23, 24. Okay, now we're ramping it up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, we're chilling, you know, having a good conversation, but I was sitting, you know, below 200 watts for a while there and just kind of cruising. And yeah, so usually when I'm sitting in my zone 1, then yeah, we are definitely chilling at that point in the race. All right, so by this point, I believe the riders have gotten a pretty substantial lead. I think they're like a minute and a half or something like that. I'm making my way to the front. You know, Grant doesn't have that water bottle, and I've got to shake things up a little bit here. So this is, I wasn't really thinking about it until I got to the front very easily. And then I was like, you know what? Let's try something. Let's see if anybody wants to come with me. And so far, nobody's coming with me. I'm pushing out a whole bunch of watts, looking back just to see if anybody was coming, you know, to help out, or if they wanted to go on this chase with me or not. Nobody wanted to come. And yeah, I'm out here pushing out a bunch of watts on the backstretch here of the 3rd lap, and trying to catch up to these leaders here, trying to bring everything back together. Was it a good idea? I don't know. Maybe. I felt pretty good though. Like, you know, the legs were feeling pretty good at this point in the race. Obviously, it was early. That was a decent spot, I think, to make that move. And since the other team was, you know, kind of controlling the pace for a while there, and we weren't really doing a whole lot, I decided to see what I could do, if I could push it a little bit more here. But yeah, so I'm out here. Been out for, yeah, a little over a minute or so, I think, at this point, by myself. And, you know, I'm pushing out a little bit of a lead. I might have, I guess on the Peloton, maybe 15, 20 seconds. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell at this point. And I don't remember seeing them like directly behind me either at this point. So, I remember I was trying to look back as best I could, you know, to see if I could, you know, see anybody, if they were coming or not. Here I go, looking back there. Already getting a little bit tired. Pushed out a lot of watts. Probably too much early on. Like, I know you want to get an initial burst, you know, just to get away, but then you want to steadily get into your, you know, into your zone 4-ish range and just kind of settle in there. But I think I was going a little bit too high above that and doing too many watts above that, instead of just sitting there right in that threshold range and pushing. So now, I mean, I'm pushing a little bit more in the threshold range now. But yeah, that initial burst and then the extra bit that I was doing was probably a little bit too much. But I think I've settled back down a little bit. Yeah, my heart rate's not like in the 170s, but here we go. We got a couple guys making some moves here. There we go. They were coming past me pretty quick, so I had to jump on their wheel here. Get up on it. There we go. All right, so now I've got a 3-man. We got a 3-man team here, and there's also, I believe, 3 out front. So I'm not sure, because, you know, we're not getting times from anybody. But, you know, from the last that I heard, I believe they were about a minute and a half. So I'm guessing that they're about a minute and a half or so away from us at this point. But they've been out there for a while now. And so if we can actually, you know, catch up to him, that'd be great. But the guy that I just rotated with, I believe he has a teammate out front. I think I knew that at the time, but the way he was riding and the way he was pushing, I didn't feel like he was, blocking or trying to mess this up at all. So just by him, the wattage that he was putting out and the amount that I was pushing right behind him and all that stuff in this breakaway here, I felt like he was doing some work. He was doing a really good job, and he was actually pushing harder than the Piedmont guy as well. So, and I'm not sure, they may have had another guy out there as well. So I'm not sure exactly what this breakaway was. Maybe they were just trying to see if they could help out their teammates. I'm not sure, but I was kind of glad that I got some pretty strong guys to come out there with me, and we're pushing it pretty hard here. I don't know what the Peloton is doing. I don't know how far we are away at this point in the race, but I felt like we were making some pretty good progress here. And at, the times that I remember looking back, I didn't see them at all. So I knew that we had a pretty decent lead on them during this breakaway here, or this chase group, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you can see the wattage that I'm putting down behind his wheel. So I know he was putting out some pretty good watts, and it didn't seem, like I said, it didn't seem like he was trying to, shake me off or ruin the chase group here. It felt like we were actually, trying to make it to that front group there. So making our way. This is the start finish straight. I believe we just passed the 1 kilometer sign. I think that was not too long ago. So yeah, I mean, we're coming up on that start finish, doing good, making some good turns here, putting out some really good watts. Feeling pretty good still. I think I'm able to put out some pretty good wattage here, and we've got ourselves a little chase train. Now, coming up through the start-finish straight, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it or not, but I think, remembering this day, that we did get a call out here in just a second. I'm going to see if I can hear it, with the headphones on and everything, but I believe somebody was calling out the times for us here in just a second. As we cross this finish line, we're going to come through here in just a second here. But I'm listening for it just to see if you can hear it over the noise of the air here. I really couldn't hear it, but I think from what I remember on the day, I believe it was about a minute 45 at this point. If I remember correctly. But yeah, so they pushed that out a little bit further. It was a minute and a half on the last lap, so now it's a minute 45. But I felt like maybe they were out a little bit further than that, and our chase group was closing. If it was a minute and a half going into the last lap, so maybe we were closing a little bit. I'm not sure, but it didn't feel insurmountable. Is the point there? So. And I think we're doing a really good job of pushing this break or this chase, and haven't seen the big group behind us at all. And I don't think I don't know if I looked back too much, but I just remember the times that I did look back, I didn't see them anywhere. So I felt like we had a pretty decent lead on the rest of the peloton there. So 145 to the leaders, approximately, and we're sitting there, in the middle, making that chase, putting out some good wattage, making some good time, and putting out some good speed here. So here we are. This is, we're still on lap 4, an hour and 14 minutes into the race. We've been on our chase group breakaway for over 15 minutes, I think, at this point. Yeah. And here we go. So Peloton finally caught back up to us. I'm looking, I'm smiling. I'm like, damn it. They finally caught back up to us. So now I've got to kind of form in. I said, shit. But there's the rest of the group there. It looks like Grant was able to get another bottle from somebody because he's got 2 there. I thought he was not going to make it through the end of the race, but it looks like he's got he was able to get another bottle from somebody. And then of course I fall all the way to the back of the Peloton here, and resting the legs up a little bit here. That was a pretty good chase, and I felt like we were doing pretty good, but I guess the rest of the Peloton had other ideas, and they decided to catch back up to us. And so at this point, I've got to get back into the mix here. There's Bratcher and Chris just in front there. So I'm going to talk to Bratcher just here for a second. They were just, talking about the push there that we had, and I think we were talking about that. It's hard. I can't tell what we were saying, but seems like that. Yeah, I've got the big smile on my face. So I think that's what we were talking about. Just them catching up to us at this point in the race, and not sure where the leaders are, but they're still pushing out on us at this point. And I felt like, if the Peloton could have caught us, we probably could have pushed it out and tried to catch them as well. But this team right here, to the right of the frame, Piedmont and the other, I think they were doing a good job of making sure we weren't catching them. But like I said, I mean, the guys that I was with in my chase group, I felt like they were really pushing it and really working hard, and we were trying to make it up there. So I didn't feel like they were trying to block anything or trying to mess anything up. But I was glad I got that started though. I mean, you gotta try at some points in the race for some things like that, and I didn't plan for that to happen, but it just kind of happened, gliding up to the front that way and looking around and seeing, guys were just chilling. So I decided to make my move and, got out front for a little bit by myself, and then was joined by 2 other strong guys out there, and 15 to almost 20 minutes later or something like that, we're caught again, but tried to do things out here. I think we almost made it a lap. We're getting to the point where I made my first move, so almost made it a full lap around. All right, so lap 5. We're an hour and 32 minutes into the race, and so I wasn't sure what was going on, but we were kind of slowing down a little bit here. Like we weren't pushing it as much. I was trying to look to see what was going on up front. Guys are talking here and looking around, and we're getting ready to see something here, and I'll point it out. So I thought, okay, what are they doing here? There's a big break right here. I probably need to catch up to there, so I need to push it. So that, there's some guys pushing it out. We need to control this gap a little bit here. So I was like, what just happened? Like we slowed down, and then all of a sudden the gap opened up, and then I was like, are we what are we doing? Are we chasing it? I didn't know what was going on, but then this happened right here. So I think. I think guys were trying to make a move at this point and trying to get off the front, and then we got shut down right here. So the race is getting neutralized. So that's the motorcycle coming beside us here neutralized everything and was holding it down. I thought we were trying to go at this point. Like we're moving pretty well, but you saw like the hand signals there, and I'm like, are we stopping? Are we going? What are we doing? I'm getting ready to look around like what's going on. I think I'm looking forward. There's another, I think there's another motorcycle out there out front too. But I was trying to see what was going on, because we weren't getting like any sort of information at this point. But now we're cruising. There's the motorcycle again. You can't hear what the hell she's saying. Like I was trying to. I remember being out there and being like, what did she say? I have no idea. But yeah, come to, you know, obviously to find out here in just a second that we were getting neutralized because the Masters group was coming up behind us on their final lap. So the Masters Peloton is coming up. We're getting neutralized so that they can go around us. So that's why we're having to kind of shut down here at this point. So yeah, an hour and a half into the race, we only have a couple more laps left in here. We were making really good time. We're moving around, and I can't remember if we were like really close to catching the guys that were out front earlier on in the race or not. But I want to say that we were pretty close to them at this point. But yeah, obviously this neutralization right here really hampered things, especially for the end of this race as well, if that hints at anything. But yeah, so that's why I've got this view going. I'm trying to see when exactly they were going to come. Like they've been neutralizing us for the last, you know, couple minutes or something like that. We're still trying to kind of push it like a little bit, but we're you know, in this up in the air kind of status where like, when is this going to happen? You know, when are these guys going to come and pass us? So we're kind of doing this wishy-washy thing, you know, and then I've got this gap in front of me. I'm like, I don't know if I need to close this now or what, or if we're all just going to stick together. What are we doing? But we're going, you know, super slow. We're doing, you know, 18, 19 miles an hour at this point. And like I said, this neutralization right here in the middle of the race, or a little bit further along, I guess, than the middle, but basically towards the end of the race, really sucked. I would say that. And a lot of guys in the Peloton were pretty pissed off about it as well, because, you know, they've been neutralizing us for however many minutes it's been now. They still haven't passed us yet, and it's like we could have just kept going. But I think here I think they're coming now. Maybe. And you've got motorcycle, and then you've got another police vehicle going by, and they still haven't passed us. And here we are going 11 miles an hour, chilling. Here they go, finally. All right, so yeah, that's the Masters. They're on their final lap, and they're getting ready to go, you know, into the final stretch here in just a little bit. But yeah, so we had to neutralize for that. And not only did we have to neutralize before this, you know, to slow down, we're having to neutralize to let them, you know, get some distance from us, because, you know, if we start pushing it now, we'll be on the back of their Peloton, and then everything will be all mixed up for the end. So we're having to be neutralized again right here for however many minutes it's been. So I'm just looking back at the timing. So it's been about, I don't know, 6 minutes or so, almost 7 minutes so far of the race at this kind of like wishy-washy neutralization. And now, I mean, we're moving a little bit, but we're still having to kind of let them go. And yeah, so now, I mean, we're moving at 30 miles an hour. I was sitting on the back, chilling a little bit here. And we start moving again, but I think, I'm trying to remember if we have to slow down one more time or not. But yeah, I mean, like this whole thing, and I believe like the whole situation was like almost 10 to 15 minutes or something like that. So, you can imagine if, you're pushing out all the watts that you do throughout a race, and then you get neutralized kind of towards the end of it, and then have to ramp back up again. It's one thing if it's only like 1 or 2 minutes, but when it becomes like 10 to 15 minutes like it was, then it starts really like messing with your body and how things progress or whatever. But I was kind of sitting on the back here on purpose, just to rest a little bit. Like my legs were starting to feel a little crampy, just from the slowdown and stuff like that. And I was sitting on the back trying to just cruise a little bit and work my legs out. But I know I can't stay back here. Otherwise, when it does ramp back up again, I'm gonna have to, push it out. But that's what I was doing back here. I wasn't trying to, let anything go or anything like that. I was trying to get my legs back under me, because the slowage and the stoppage and the back and forth or whatever was really, it was taking a toll on me in this race. It's usually like, it's fine if you're gonna keep going, but then when you have these things like this, it really it messes with you, or it messes with me at least. I don't know if it messes with you guys, but it messes with me, and I think that's just probably my old age out here. So yeah, that neutralization took entirely too long to maneuver, and we're still. I mean, I don't think it's still going on because they've finished, but we're getting ready to ramp it back up. But they just went down the start finish straight. They just finished up, and here we go. We've got guys all over the place, cars all over the place. You'll see in just a second, but yeah, I mean they literally just finished. So from the 130 something mark to 148 here, they finally finished. So we're talking 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. A long time to be kind of neutralized and to be slowed down here. But so you'll see some of the guys coming back through here, and it gets a little chaotic right here because you've got guys that are slowing down, they're still in the middle of the road. And yeah, because we were neutralized for so long, I was sitting on the back chilling, and my legs were getting a little bit tired here. There's the chaos that I was talking about, just all over. They're all having to move over and stuff like that so that we can come through now. We've got to finish out. We're on our sixth lap. We still got a lap to go. But that whole situation was crazy, and a lot of guys were pretty pissed off about it. And I for not to give too much away, but at this point in the race, like my legs, were starting to feel it. That the old age, the starting and stopping and having to ramp it up again at this point in the race was already taking a toll on me a bit. And so yeah, I got a little bit tired towards the end of this one. Wasn't feeling as sprightly, I guess, as I was earlier on in the race when I went on that chase group breakaway. But yeah, I'm kind of dangling on the back here at this point in the race. We've still got a couple laps or whatever, but I dangle on for most of this lap here, and then yeah, the wheels finally fall off at this point. So I didn't quite finish with the starting group here. Didn't get last, but didn't finish with that group. And yeah, since it's been so many months, it's been since August of this race. I wasn't sure if there was a couple guys that got away out front, or if we all came together. You guys, that did this race, you could probably help me out in remembering that. But I think Grant did end up getting in the top 10 in this race, so pretty good for the team. Wish I could have helped out a bit more towards the end of it, but sometimes that's how things go. And not too bad for my first P12 road race. But I mean, besides the stupid neutralization and all that stuff that we went through, I was having pretty good fun in this race, and having a good time. So was chopping up with the guys in the group during the race, and yeah. So did this race, and then I've already posted it, but did the Dalton Grand Prix crit race the day after this. So this was the day before that crit race that we did. This one's actually, I mean, it's part of an Omnium, and there is a TT involved. I didn't do the TT this year. I did last year and was like, nah, I'm not doing that again. Too many guys on actual TT bikes, and yeah, it felt demoralizing when they were passing me and I was on my road bike trying to get in that aero position. But yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos. And yo, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.